the bread and butter kind of bike that I love really. So I'm going to be honest with you, it may not be up for sale. My missus raced yesterday at Acorns, and she went out first on a 125, and she ended up doing she ended up doing practice on the 125 and the next two races on my 250, and she said that she really prefers the 250. She prefers the power. She felt that she could go a lot better on it. So I've promised her a 250, and I've got this one, and I've got a 79 YZ 250, which I'm going to try her on both of them, see, because she's not got the longest legs really, so we just need to see which is going to be the closest for her and see which one she wants, and then the 125 can go up for sale, and then we can get her sorted on one of these two. This bike, I've been a little bit frustrated about it really. One of my good customers had said he'd wanted it, and so I held it for months really, and then I was supposed to be part Xing another identical bike. It's a 1981 Husqvarna 250 CR, so it's a motocross one. So he has an identical bike, but not quite in as nice condition. That needs quite a lot more work, that he bought off me. So I was going to part X that back, and then he was going to take this, and then turns out his flipping son has crashed his car, and they can't claim on the insurance, and this, that and the other, and so ends up that I've kind of kept this bike. So I had a guy interested, but really he would have been keener on the other bike, the one that needed more work. So he's ended up not taking this, but might work out in Vicky's favour. It might be the thing for her, or the Yamaha might. So we'll see. Well, I'll know in a couple of days anyway. So yeah, it's a 1981 Husqvarna 250 CR. It's generally in lovely condition, I would say. So it had. I did another video of this bike actually. It had this side panel missing, and then the side panel on this side had been cut for some bizarre reason. So anyway, so I ordered a full set of DC plastics for it. I've still got the originals, and I've put the DC plastics on. I'm waiting actually for a couple of stickers for the side panels, the 250 CR decals for it, just to finish it off really. And then it could do with and then I've noticed that the inlet manifold rubber had perished and was cracked. It wasn't actually cracked all the way through, so I've put a new one on, and I've made a gasket for that. And then it could do with tyres, an oil change more than likely it would need, and other than that, the front forks, they seem to be working fine. The rear shocks don't seem to be leaking, and so it would just be, I mean, other than that, the thing's in lovely condition. Oh, seat cover, could do with a seat cover. There's some weird cracking on the seat cover, so could do with that being changed. And for me, if it was me, I'd be leaving it like that, leaving it as it is. Original paint, it's got the original wheels, it's all in generally nice condition. I always think that they're actually worth more money as original rather than restored. Just means they've not been messed with really. And it just looks like a genuine original bike that's been stored properly in a nice place rather than outside. The tank's in lovely nick, the engine casings are in lovely nick, the frame's in lovely nick. It's just a nice bike, and I don't know about you, some people don't like them, but the the shape of them, the shape of these Husqvarnas, especially this particular rear wheel with this tank, they're my favourites really. So let's have a bit of a closer look at it, and then we'll get it fired up and through the gears, and I'll take some pictures of it, and if Vicky decides she doesn't want it, I'll stick it up for sale this afternoon or this evening, and if she does want it, then I just need to wait for plastics to come back for the YZ, and then that one will be up for sale instead. So take it from there. So like I say, it's not absolutely immaculately mint, but it is pretty good, and there's nice bits on it, like the chain guard. They're normally either missing or damaged. You can see there's not a huge amount of wear on the stator cover there. That would suggest to me that it's not done a huge amount of work. The tank, it's got some clear protectors on it, but again, underneath there it doesn't look as though it's had too much abuse. I haven't seen any dents in it. Sometimes I do miss these things, so you know, you can't take it all as complete gospel. There's a little bit of rub in there, but not a lot. And for a 41-year-old bike, I would expect there to be a bit more, a little bit there. But the tank's lovely. That's what I was on about with this seat. It's just cracked a little bit. So a new seat cover would be the right thing to do for this bike. The kill switch had fallen apart, it had disintegrated, so I've put a brand new genuine Magura kill switch on it. And like I say, it's got the new DC plastics on it, new front mudguard. Mudguard is catching a little bit, so just needs an extra spacer putting in here. I'm not going to do that unless Vicky keeps it. If she keeps it, I'll do it. If not, that's up to you to do. Like I say, forks. I did notice there's a bit of pitting between the triple clamps, but nothing down on the actual sliding out. Oh, maybe it's not actually pitting. Maybe it's. Anyway, it's not on the sliding areas, so there's nothing major to worry about at all. It's got a Mikuni carb, so I think it would have had a Bing. In 1881 would have had a Bing, I think. Mikuni was an upgrade. It was what you would put on if you wanted it to be a bit more reliable, really. So that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. The front wheel has got the original anodizing and is perfectly straight. A bit of paint flaked off the front forks, the front fork stanchions, but nothing major. And if you're going to use it as a race bike, which is if Vicky wants it, it's to be used as a race bike. It's not as a collector's item. It's going to be ridden. No fin damage or anything like that to the motor. Again, the gearbox side, the clutch cover has got minimal wear to it. It's got great compression. Spark's good. Exhaust is in good nick. Couple of minor dents, nothing major at all. Frame not dented. Swing arm in perfect condition. Rear wheel, which is a 17-inch, is there's a little bit of a wear mark here. Maybe it's rubbed on something at some point. Rear wheel looks good. rear shocks. What happens is the bodies, from where the spring goes up and down, it wears the paint off the bodies, and then they start to rust. But the rest of it looks good on both sides. The bump stops have perished, so ultimately at some point you'd want to get them serviced and new bump stops put in there, and that would solve that problem. And then it needs some chain sliders. Now, if it was me, I would make them out of like nylon, a sheet of nylon, and that'll just stop the chain from wearing on the swing arm, top and bottom. Easy thing to make, nothing major. The brake torque arm is perfectly straight, they often get bent. Rear brake works. Chain's not terribly bad. It's not, you know, it's perfectly serviceable. It doesn't look as though the rear sprocket's really done anything at all. Can't see the front sprocket because it's got that chain guard on it, which is nice. Frame numbers intact, engine numbers intact. They both match as to what you would be looking for a 1981 250cr. So it's a pretty honest bike, really. I have put a new, when I ordered the inlet manifold rubber, I ordered a new air filter, so I've put and I've oiled a new air filter in for it, so you don't need to do that. But yeah, the thing is lovely. Like I say, I think they're gorgeous. A proper, beautiful early 80s motocross bike. Absolutely stunning. And some people tell me that they don't like riding them. When I've ridden, I raced a 430 and I raced a 500. When I've ridden them, I think they're super comfy to ride. Really, really comfy bikes. So, anyway, there we go. Let's get it fired up and let's go through the gears for you. I haven't just fired this up, so I'm hoping it goes pretty easily. I messed up there a little bit. I should have said flipping fifth gear twice. I didn't count it up into fifth on the way up and I didn't count it back into fifth on the way down. But hopefully you did see that it had all of its 6 gears and it ran through them absolutely fine. The bike is flipping mega, like gorgeous bike, beautiful to look at, beautiful to listen to, beautiful smell, and yeah, it's just, I kind of hope she keeps this one, really. We'll see either which way, she'll have a good one. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search Phoenix Motos.